Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. So, I'm going to make a very short video on allergies. Okay, because a lot of time when people are being placed on diet, some of the questions that is being asked is, do you think you have allergy for this or that? To guide properly for the um diet meal plan. Okay, so allergies are more like the body reacting to a foreign substance, either when you touch it, when you inhale it, or maybe when you consume it. You know, because allergies can be food, allergies can also be, some environmental factors or having pests in the house, like the fur of an animal. Some people are allergic to it, but we're strictly talking about food allergy. Okay, and when this happens, there may be minor um reactions like itching, sniffing, whistling, and sometimes, in most cases, or in some cases rather, allergic reaction can be life threatening, and sometimes on the surface you may experience swelling. Okay, so in essence, allergic reaction happen when the body identifies um, a foreign object, and sometimes it can even be medication. There's some people that have issues with some medication, that they have some allergic reaction because of the active ingredient that is in that particular medication. Okay, now, so if you are allergic to something, you also have to avoid it. You have to be very disciplined to avoid it. But sometimes people don't even know they're allergic to a particular substance until they begin to see some reaction. Now, what you do is that you visit a healthcare provider who can diagnose you, whether having a skin test or having a blood test. These are ways they can diagnose, to know what you're allergic to. Then there are questions around your consumption pattern for the past 24 hours to also help the healthcare provider to guide you properly when it comes to allergy. Okay, so one of the things that we may ask you, one of the things that will be considered is, what kind of work do you engage in? What kind of activities are you exposed to? And what kind of food do you consume? This will guide a healthcare provider, this will guide a nutritionist, a dietitian rather, to put you through the right food, medication, and the appropriate lifestyle if you are having allergies. Now, it depends on the type of allergy that is detected. You can also, the healthcare provider can also, recommend some kind of breathing test, drugs, or the food challenge test. This food challenge test work best when it's related to food. Maybe you meet the dietitian and say, each time I take peanuts, I experience this, experience that, So they can just also place you on a food challenge test. Little quantity with close observation to know the exact issue that you're having. Okay. Then let me not also forget to tell you that these allergies happen when immune system mistakenly identify not just foreign objects but foreign protein. Okay, whether pet, maybe medication, food, and sometimes harmful, as if they were viruses, as if they were bacteria. Then how can these be managed? If you want to manage allergies, the first thing you do is, when you have discovered that these are the things that causes allergy to you are fully aware, you have to you have to avoid those lifestyle, maybe the kind of work you're supposed to, or the kind of food that makes you have this allergy. That is the one step of managing it. You have to avoid it. No matter if it's your best food, if it's the most important ingredient for your best recipe, you just have to avoid it. This is especially um, difficult for people who have these allergies, and also it's also their and it's their best food. It's always difficult for them because they can't let go. Though there are some allergies that are difficult to avoid, especially the ones that are workplace, environmental, you know, that are difficult to avoid. But in these cases, medications are given to help manage the situation. Probably you're doing a job that exposes you, but you also want to stick to the job, or the job exposes you, the environment, to all those factors. It may be a bit difficult for some people, right? But you can also work towards getting a better one, or getting an alternate one for health sake. Okay, or some can be weather. Maybe when it gets to a particular time of the year, if they inhale some kind of dry air or inhale some things, they may just start having allergy. This is not food now, this is environmental factor. So those cases is somehow difficult, they can be managed with medication. Yeah. So if you know what you're allergic to, there's some things you look at. If it's animal food, then avoid touching animal. Don't even allow them to come close to you. Don't keep them as pets if possible. If you notice that's what you're allergic to, okay? If you notice that um during pollen season that sometimes you have allergy, you can decide to keep your door, your windows closed, your doors closed. And if you notice some foods that you're allergic to, you can do where to prepare your meal, or discover restaurants that are allergic friendly in their food preparation. Then do not forget to read nutrition label. Nutrition label helps you a lot to know what you are taking, so you can decide, oh, this is not safe for me because I'm allergic to this. Okay. And again, when you recognize these early symptoms, do not ignore them. Do not ignore them. Work on it immediately. Meet a health provider, meet a dietitian to know what is going on. Don't say, I don't know what's happening, but it may not be serious. It could be serious, but most illnesses are being reduced to minimal if, at the point of recognizing the early symptom, um, attention is given to it. All right. Now, there's some common symptoms that you get when you are allergic to something, maybe hives, flushes, rashes, swelling, whistling. We mentioned it earlier, coughing. Some people also experience difficulty in breathing. So, allergy can be life threatening, and it can also, you know, reduce airflow in the lungs, and loss of consciousness in some human. So my final note is this: if you're allergic to something, avoid it. If you discover it early, please work towards it, okay? Work towards it. And finally, read food labels, avoid restaurants that may serve you food without really telling you um some of those food that you're allergic to when you ask, okay? Best if you can prepare your meal, in most cases prepare your meal to be on the safe side. Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye.